Ever since I was a little boy, I've had what can only be described as an intense relationship with a small blue hedgehog.
I've been looking all over for you!
Whoa, this isn't a kissing booth!
Now that we've set the tone for the video, allow me to digress. Between the ages of 5 to 12, I would be traditionally dragged out of my bed by my mum and granddad at about 7 AM on a Saturday morning, where I just wanted to watch cartoons, to drive to whichever closest village, or to be more accurate, huge field of mud was hosting the bi-weekly car boot sale. If you aren't from the UK and age approximately 25 to 40, you're probably thinking, what the heck is a car boot sale? Allow me to enlighten you. A car boot sale, as mentioned, usually involved a large field of mud. It sometimes started off as grass, but by the end of the inevitable 2-hour torrential rainstorm that would undoubtedly crash upon the land by 10 AM, you'd be hard-pressed to find veteran military squadrons that could cross the terrain without considering leaving their families behind. People would park up, get all their old junk out of the boot of the car, and place said junk on tables and blankets in the hopes that others would crop up and buy it. And rest assured, they would.
I think it's incredibly overpriced.
I need it. Buy it, store it.
Citizens would travel from anything up to half an hour away to haggle you from £2.50 down to a bargain £2 for a cap with Mickey Mouse on it, or a plant pot, or a copy of The Lion King on VHS, which were basically DVDs of the Stone Age. Essentially, the whole process was an opportunity to crack out the loose change jar and come home with a bunch of stuff from someone's attic that ranged from useless to, oh look love, this picture of dogs playing poker would look lovely in the lounge. Anyway, I've rambled on way too much about car boot sales. The point being that among the years of being dragged around the south of England to look at people's old junk, did come one of the greatest gifts of my childhood. A Sega Mega Drive. This was my first ever TV console. My appetite for gaming had grown exponentially ever since receiving a Game Boy Pocket and The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening from my granddad for my 7th birthday. And the Sega was the next big step in cementing what would become so far my lifelong gaming obsession. My first games were Sonic 1, 2 and 3, and they were some of my most replayed and enjoyed games of my youth. But it wasn't just the games, Sonic became my first hero.
All in a night's work for Blue Justice!
I was obsessed with him, consuming all forms of Sonic media I could get a hold of. The original cartoon, followed much later by Sonic Underground, which still has one of the greatest themes of all time, do not at me.
Sonic Underground! Sonic Underground!
And then Sonic X, the comics that I would reread over and over again. I drew him, I ran around the garden doing roly-polies, soon after regretting the latter after realising the dog had been out 10 minutes before. Moral of the story is, Sonic became, and age 31 I can still proudly say still is, one of my favourite and most sentimental franchises of all time.
I am the hero you need and the hero you deserve.
It will come as no surprise then to hear that I was absolutely thrilled at the success of the first film. It captured everything I love about Sonic and gave me even more to admire. Sonic was cute, cool, super endearing and relatable. Maybe not so much being the whole blue hedgehog that can run at the speed of sound, but hey, we've all been lonely, right?
I really am alone.
Furthermore, we got the Robotnik of my dreams in Jim Carrey, one of my all-time favourite actors, who has brought Dr. Eggman to life in a way that's true to the source character, while adding the flair and gravitas that only Jim can and makes perfect sense for this eccentric role.
Of course I want a latte. I love the way you make them!
Anyway, this was a really long and about way of saying I really like Sonic the Hedgehog, and I recently saw Sonic 2 and it made me feel all sorts of special goodness, so I thought I'd get on the internet and hope you haven't already seen the Watch Mojo list as I tell you the top 10 moments of Sonic 2 that made me feel special goodness. Let's start off our list with one of the only things I went into the film not expecting to be so memorable. Tom, Maddie and Rachel were some of the most featured human characters that don't originate from any other Sonic lore. James Marsden did a terrific job as the Donut Lord, acting as both a friend and a father figure for our favourite hedgehog.
Why do you keep calling me Donut Lord?
Because you talk to donuts. And then eat them if they get out of line.
Tika Sumpter and Natasha Rothwell as Tom's partner Maddie and her sister Rachel respectively were fantastic members of the cast and added great moments of comedy in their albeit quite limited screen time.
Jojo, put on my Fitbit. I can at least get some steps.
Sonic 2, however, doubled down on Rachel's character in particular, making her supposed engagement to Randall, played by Shamar Moore, a larger focus of the film. I must admit that the first couple of scenes referencing and located at their wedding I thought were largely unimportant and just a way to get Sonic home alone. But the wedding being crashed and then the reveal that the whole thing has been a secret government undercover operation to get their hands on Sonic.
It's okay, everyone. We're federal agents.
Led to some great comical moments. And I'm glad Rachel got some more time in the spotlight.
And I find Randall, right? And then I squeeze the breath from his lying, deceitful, perfectly manscaped body. I'm going through a lot right now.
Whoa, the compass!
This will lead us to the Emerald.
Anyone that knows anything about Sonic will have immediately recognised the Master and Chaos Emeralds. They're some of the most important and commonly featured items through Sonic's lore and history, so they just had to make their way into the films. Originally, the Master Emerald was said to reside on Angel Island, where it had been protected by the Echidna tribe for 3 millennia. In the films, however, it's explained that the Emerald was created by the Echidnas, only to be confiscated by Longclaw and the Owl so as to keep such a powerful object from being mishandled or falling into the wrong hands. We get to visit Angel Island in the live-action film, and see the resting place of the Master Emerald, which was sure to get a squeal out of any long-term Sonic fan.
At last, the Master Emerald.
And Robotnik stealing and growing more powerful from it added a lot of tension. But the most iconic moment had to come as a result of someone else becoming one with the Chaos Emeralds. But we'll talk about that a little bit later down the list.
That was a little early.
Didn't work out on Earth, but that's okay. You're going to a safe world. A nice safe world full of mushrooms. Mushrooms that'll be your only friends. That sounds awful. I can't do this.
Sonic spends a lot of time complaining about his potential fate of living on the Mushroom Planet, and the film ends with Robotnik being trapped there, giving us a great ending scene showing us a bit more of the Mushroom Hill Zone inspired world, with the eccentric genius clearly already starting to lose it a little.
My grasp on sanity remains absolute.
Well, Sonic 2 picks up basically right where it left off, guiding us through an elaborate domino effect of contraptions made by the good doctor, all to try and quell his thirst for a decent latte. I'm glad the film took the time to show us a little bit of what Eggman's been up to since his banishment, but wasting little time in showing us the fruits of his labour with a machine that successfully results in Robotnik being found and attacked by the Echidnas, whom he intellectually deals with via other handmade traps. The Doctor really is one of a kind, making something from nothing, and succeeding in escaping the Mushroom Planet, courtesy of another new character introduced into the live-action films, which leads us nicely to the next item on our list. If you were going to make multiple films about Sonic, this was always going to happen. Without a doubt, one of the most popular and fundamental characters in Sonic universe, Knuckles.
Sonic, meet Knuckles.
Just seeing him confirmed from the trailer was so absolutely insanely hype, but seeing his silhouette step through the ring to come eye to eye with Robotnik was still a jaw-dropping moment.
I'd be happy to show you the way.
Knuckles played a huge part in the film, and rightly so. And the performance by Idris Elba, if I'm being honest, was even cooler than I'd imagined.
Do I look like I need your power?
Knuckles has usually been quite a one-dimensional character.
I'm not your buddy, and don't forget it, smart Alec. Now put him up!
Hard-hitting and serious, but still insanely cool. The live-action film gave us even more sides to Knuckles. He was the daunting and brooding threat we all know him to be, but it was also just a hell of a lot of fun.
I am having the fun. What is ice cream?
He kind of reminded me of Drax from the MCU.
That's because I am 1,000,000% muscle. Faster Fox!
When showing his softer side, Knuckles is caring, funny, and just a big softie deep down. Don't worry, Knuckles, your secret's safe with us.
Sonic, I have just been told they have sprinkles.
Let me just say, it is an honor to finally meet you, Sonic. Is it okay if I call you Sonic? Everyone calls me Tails. You're probably wondering why.
I spent a lot of time being very curious as to why they made the decision to leave Tails out of the first film. So important to Sonic's legacy Miles per hour is, it seemed odd to me at first.
Come on, Tails, I need you to fly us out of here. Time to wake up.
But in hindsight, I think they made the right call. Tails wasn't necessary for the story they told in Sonic 1, and it allowed his debut here to be all the more awesome. Although we did of course get the post-credits scene showing his arrival into Green Hills.
If these readings are accurate, he's here. I found him.
Which I have to say ended up being one of my favourite moments of the film. The fact that that scene happens a little ways into the plot of Sonic 2 and seamlessly links into the story. I don't know, maybe it was just me, but that was pretty satisfying. Tails was amazing here, vulnerable but brave, and so damn cute. His role in helping Sonic to understand what it really means to be a hero was beautifully told, and I'm so glad our favourite Fox has joined the party.
I knew I couldn't just sit back and watch anymore.
Guess I had a bonus life.
Some of the greatest moments from Sonic the Hedgehog 1, in my opinion, came from the substantial amount of fan service, references and Easter eggs scattered throughout the film. And Sonic 2 kept up this tradition in spades, giving us a multitude of moments to go, ooh, ooh, ah, yes, I understood that reference. Honestly, you could make a whole video just out of the references, and people have, but here are just a few of my favourites.
Knuckles, use your strength to jump off the plane. Wow. Okay. gotta go fast.
What just happened?
It's the Stash Masher, right here in the manual.
You're unskilled, untrained, and unworthy.
You forgot one. Unstoppable.
We've already talked quite a bit about Knuckles, and rightly so, as one of the biggest debuts into the live action series. But as far as I'm concerned, Sonic vs Knuckles deserves a spot all of its own.
It is my destiny to do what my ancestors could not.
Sonic has faced off against a variety of opponents across his storied career. His greatest enemy is without a doubt Dr. Robotnik himself, but his greatest rival, in my opinion, is Knuckles. The two protectors have been duking it out for years, usually as a result of the Echidna being lied to and manipulated by Robotnik.
He thinks this world's a lot more fun than ours, and if we don't agree, it's our tough luck.
If you don't know how to floss, you'll be lost without me.
I understand nothing of what you just said.
And this tradition held true in the film, allowing us to see Sonic and Knuckles go at it multiple times across the course of the action, and these were some of the most jaw-dropping and enjoyable scenes.
Look, we aren't strong enough to beat Robotnik on our own, but there's three of us. Your strength, your smarts, and my speed together. That's how we win.
Okay, so this could have just gone in the references section, but it's my list and I think this scene deserves a spotlight all of its own. If you're anything like me, this scene was a giant nostalgia pop for fans of the game Sonic Heroes. Our three heroes dashing into battle in a blur of their famous colours. This scene got me super pumped and had me on the edge of my seat yelling support and admiration for the freedom fighters. We got comedy, action, tension, and Avengers level cinematography. This scene was a gift to Sonic fans. I'm still not over it, to be honest.
Hedgehog, you are a brave and noble warrior. Go to your certain death with honor.
We're gonna have to work on your pep talks, pal.
If you've made it this far, first of all, well done, and thank you. Remember to hit the like button if you've enjoyed the video. As discussed, we got a hell of a lot from this film. Multiple debuts of characters and lore, a bunch of action and comedy. We got so much that I really didn't think we were going to get this entry. I would have understood if they wanted to leave it for the third film, but I'm not complaining.
I finally got him.
Any Sonic fan will tell you that when Sonic collects all the Chaos Emeralds, and 100 rings if you're playing the classic games, Blue Justice will go through a godlike transformation, turning him into the nigh unstoppable yellow-coloured Super Sonic. If you're anything like me, by this point you were on your feet jumping up and down screaming. Super Sonic immediately introduced himself to newer fans of the genre as an incredibly powerful being, single-handedly crushing the Death Egg robot into a pile of rubble in next to no time at all. Older lore has always inferred that while in Super Mode, Sonic has less control over his actions and emotions, occasionally becoming a threat to his own friends while in the golden form, and the film hinted at this, but it seems like a chili dog is enough to bring our hero back to reality, at least for now. Super Sonic is a staple of the series, and seeing him brought to the big screen was a dream come true.
Okay, he's exactly the Sonic you once knew.
Huh? What the? Good evening. I must say it's a pleasure to finally meet you face to face, Sonic. We do look alike.
The final item on our list was a moment that looks to the future of the live-action series, and gave us a pretty good idea of where the third film would be taking us. Shadow, the ultimate life form, was first introduced into the Sonic universe during the critically acclaimed Sonic Adventure 2. This was supposed to be a one-off appearance, but so popular the Dark Figure proved to be that he was later included in the previously mentioned Sonic Heroes, followed by his own title game, as well as numerous appearances in other forms of Sonic media. Shadow quickly became a fan favourite, and his cameo here setting up his likely appearance in the next film was just... Whew, these films, man, they're really doing it right. God, I'm so happy.
My God. Project Shadow.
And that's my list. I realise it wasn't really moments as opposed to just features of the film I loved.
I suggest the groin.
What?
But hopefully you're alright with that. What was your favourite moment of Sonic 2? Are you excited for the next instalment? What other aspects from Sonic's lore and history would you like to see make their way into live action? Hey, that might be my next video. Top 10 characters I want to see in Sonic 3. Interesting. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and remember, we're all mad here.